My name is John Spry and I've been a graduate trainee for 6 months.
Hi, my name is Kerry McCollum. I am the Annual Fund and Donor Stewardship Coordinator here at Loughborough University. I was a graduate trainee from August 2009 to August 2010.
Okay, my name is Laura Blake. I'm the Fundraising Officer at the University of the West of England in Bristol.
My name is Laura Yaffe and I've been a case graduate for about 8 months now.
I read physics at Southampton University.
I read philosophy at the University of Bristol.
I studied sports science and geography at Loughborough University.
I read American English Literature at the University of East Anglia.
Yes, I had various bits of experience. I have been out to Uganda on 2 occasions with a local charity from Northern Ireland and a church group. So we did lots of different fundraising events prior to that trip in order to raise money to go. I also worked for Greenpeace New Zealand when I was travelling as a door-to-door fundraiser.
Not educational fundraising, no. It was mainly for charities, smaller events, so cake sales, charity gig nights. We did something called a Christmas lodge so that we could raise money and wrap presents for children in developing nations.
Before I applied for the trainee scheme, I had some experience of fundraising. I'd worked on a student ball in my first year, which raised funds for various charities. I worked as a sales manager there, so involvement in marketing as well as the fundraising side of that.
Very little. I decided I wanted to get more experience in the charity sector, so I wrote letters to lots of local charities asking if they needed any help. And I heard back from one of them, which was a mental health charity, and they just needed help doing basic sort of trust and foundation stuff, researching trust, calling up businesses, trying to get contact details, trying to figure out how much they gave, that type of thing.
I'm working actually next week in donor relations.
And what have you been doing?
What haven't I been doing? It's a question really. So I started off in humanities, went to research and proposal team, then to alumni relations, then to trust and foundations, major gifts in sport, the annual funds. We just finished a big telethon. Whipped over to Loughborough here for the Spring Institute, and next week, as I said, donor relations.
I did my graduate trainee scheme at Loughborough University. I was very lucky that I got to move around all the areas of development and alumni relations, which gave me a really good oversight into how everything worked. I spent quite a lot of time in alumni relations, where I got to organise a donor thank you event in the House of Lords, which was a great experience, and other events. I also spent some time with major gifts.
I work across the entire department, so I actually sit within what is now high value university fundraising. And I have my line manager there, but then I spend certain amounts of time in different departments. So I work in trust and foundations, communications, research, alumni relations, database, all sorts.
I did my training with the University of Bristol with a secondment at the University of the West of England, and that saw me sort of being able to work on projects right across the department within the institution, ranging from alumni relations, so working on events, communications, through fundraising, from annual giving right across to major gifts, so the more lucrative side of the industry, as well as getting some experience of trust and foundations work. So really a very broad spectrum across the institution.
I applied for the graduate trainee role because I was looking for some professional experience in fundraising. I looked for lots of different internships and managed to find this opportunity, so I thought it was a perfect opportunity to get some good experience.
I think it was, for me, it sounded like such an exciting opportunity. It was the real breadth of what you'd be able to do during that year, whether it was learning the marketing side as well as events. Actually learning the techniques of fundraising as well as getting that on-the-job training, which was really appealing for me at the time, because it's kind of, rather than going straight into a job, you felt like you were much more prepared for the world of work by getting the training and the support right throughout.
Looking back to this time last year, I think I was really looking for a job that I felt I could make a difference in, and something that I felt would be a challenge. And I was also looking for something that it was sort of very focused on continued learning, because I'd obviously come from that environment at university, and it was something I loved, and it was something I wanted to continue no matter what job I was in.
The Loughborough team were fantastic. They were so supportive in everything that I did, obviously because I was new to the sector and learning all the time, and if I ever had a question about anything, there was always someone that was more than willing to help me in the office. So I did feel supported all the time, and if I ever had any problems or any queries, there was always someone to go to.
The team were fantastic. They really sort of took me under their wing. You know, they really wanted me to do really well. They wanted me to have responsibility, which was something that was great, and something probably a little unexpected, especially at my level. They sort of saw me as their baby, and they wanted to nurture me right through the scheme. So I was given my own sort of my own projects that I was seeing through from beginning to end, whether it be an alumni event, a high-profile event, my own campaigns with running things like our USA telethon campaign. I was able to work on direct mail campaigns, which then obviously went out to alumni, and then I was able to see the results from that, which was fantastic.
The team treats me very well. I have a wonderful line manager called Helen, and we meet every fortnight and we talk about my progress and things I'm finding difficult, things I could do better. I tell her about areas I really want to sort of work hard in, skills I want to develop, and we work very well.
Case were really supportive also. We had an online forum where you could ask questions and chat among the other trainees. So that was a really good network to have with all the other girls who were placed at the other universities, just to see what they were doing and how they were getting on. And again, if you ever had any questions, you could go and speak to Joyce or email if you ever had any problems. And she also came up to visit us to make sure that we were getting on okay. So I never felt that if I had a problem that I was just left alone.
CASE have supported me through, first of all, the annual conference in Glasgow. That was the first week. Thrown into the deep end and immersed in it, which was really useful. And then throughout the year, I've been in touch with my mentor, Joyce Champong, and she's been there supporting us as well. We have learning logs that we fill in and send to her. She has come to visit us in our institutes, and also we've been to a Major Gifts seminar in London, followed by a confident communication seminar. And now here we are in the Spring Institute, another crazy week, intense, but well worth it.
CASE were incredibly supportive throughout the trainee scheme. They are very meticulous and very careful to ensure that at the other end in your institutions, when you've all gone off and you're across the country, that you have a really good support network, you know, both internally and both via CASE. And it was very much, the case that if you needed help, it was there and you knew who to go to for help. So, and I mean, obviously the support we get through training via CASE was amazing. Getting the chance to go to both the CASE Europe Annual Conference as well as the Spring Institute. Those were sort of 2 weeks that, you know, you can't put a value on that. That was something that influences me to this day, every day when I'm working. So that was amazing.
You need to be persistent, adaptable, enthusiastic, passionate. You need to be able to get along with people, and you need to respect people. You need to kind of understand what their boundaries are.
Skills, you need creativity, you need confidence in what you're doing, you need, I don't know if there's a skill, you need just passion in what you're doing it for. You need to be able to write well. You need to be able to research, attention to detail, but bear in mind the broader picture as well.
I really love the projects where I've been able to have sort of like complete ownership of them and been able to develop them from an idea all the way through to sort of, you know, I did a video project, for instance, and I was I decided that our website wasn't really interactive enough. So I worked with another colleague in the digital communications team, and we sort of decided that every month we would go to a different annual fund project, and it's sort of like a day in the life of a student. And it's just been fantastic because it's really been able to make me focus what I'm actually doing this for. And it's developed a lot of skills. It's been fantastic.
So the best thing I've worked on to date has been the fundraising for the Hope entomological collections within one of the museums in Oxford. And these are collections of 5 million pinned insects that were collected by various people over the last 1.5 centuries, including Darwin and Livingstone. And so at the minute they're in Victorian cabinets which are deteriorating, we're at risk of losing them to pest damage. So I worked in trusts and foundations to try and support that project so they can rehouse the insects. And that was really incredible. I got to go over to the museum, meet the curator there, have a tour around, hear it from him and why it's so important for him that we actually save these. And then actually send out trust and foundation applications which are pending at the minute, but fingers crossed we can get some money in and make a difference there.
One of the things that I've enjoyed working on while I've been here at Loughborough is an alumni event actually. It's a recent graduate reunion called the Alumni Challenge Weekend, and we launched this during my graduate trainee scheme, and it's sort of like my little baby, the project, even though it's a lot of hard work. And the aim of the project is to engage recent graduates and invite them back to campus to compete in a sporting event. So as a sports player myself, it's something that I really do enjoy, and the event's getting bigger and bigger this year, so it's just something I'm quite proud of.
Being a graduate trainee was really an invaluable preparation for the job I'm in now and for indeed my future career. You know, I think the key to why it has been so invaluable has been the breadth of what I was able to do and able to achieve in that first year, and obviously with massive amounts of support from highly experienced people, be it the people I worked with at Bristol University or be it the faculty I met at the Case Spring Institute, for instance. You know, you've got that massive range of mentors and that support network that really does prepare you for the challenges that you'll face when you move on to your next step. So I think moving from a really large institution with an office of over 30 people to an office of 5, I think particularly experiences like the Spring Institute, which is a real amazing grounding in what you need to do when you're starting up a development team, was a fantastic preparation for me, and it's something I refer back to my notes all the time. I refer back to the things that I learned then, and I'm still in touch with people that I met there. So it continues to influence what I do on a daily basis. So it has been really invaluable in what I'm doing now.